Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Big Chill Podcast. This is episode 853, Winter Olympics Drama. Hello, Big Chillians. Welcome back to the Big Chill Podcast. I'm Frank, joined as always with Eddie. Eddie, how's it going?
Yeah, things are going pretty well. I'm the probably sweatiest we've ever been when I've recorded an episode. I rushed here. I got back from the gym. I played 4 hours of paddle this morning.
Wow.
Oh
my God.
So I got into a group. There's like a big WhatsApp group of people who will then say, like, we're playing tomorrow at 10:30. We need one more player. And so I'm in this group now, and I'm just flagging myself for most things. They kind of tell them their level. And this morning, yesterday I agreed to play at 9:30 this morning with a couple people. So I did 9:30 till 11.
Who are you playing with at 9:30 on a Tuesday?
In fairness, that was a good group. That was a lot of guys who kind of in my
A lot of unemployed
situation.
guys with nothing else to
No,
do.
like people who work remotely, like who maybe don't schedule meetings for early in the morning. So that's the best group in terms of age. There was probably one person in his early 30s, a little bit younger than me.
Wow.
And then there were 8 guys well, 7 and me.
It's a lot of guys.
Yeah. I'd say one younger, one probably somewhere in the late 30s. And then 4 of them probably in their early 40s, and then 2 guys in their early or whatever, however that worked out, in their early 50s. Like, no one's super old. Everyone's still working. So, that was pretty good. That was a good level. And then someone else threw out 12:30. They needed one extra person, so I joined in that one too. So, different set of
Amazing.
people.
I mean, it's just so crazy to me, though, that they don't have just like open play times that you can sign up for.
They do.
Where it's like, oh, like if you're this level, come sign in. We have 3 courts reserved.
So, they kinda do. So, every Thursday, there's that little mini tournament, and you just sign up
Yeah,
the first 16
the
people
ladder.
to join, get in. But that fills up in like 15 minutes, and it's only Thursdays. And I want to play. I can't play every Thursday, and I want to play more than just Thursday. So I'm trying to, and I'm trying
one
to
day a
use
week, though.
this.
It's weird.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to play as much as possible to find a group that I can then kind of consistently play with. Which the early morning guys, I think that's going to be the move because they play twice a week, 9:30, and I think that's probably where I'll end up. But the first time I joined in, which I texted you guys, you and Ollie, friend of the podcast, I signed up, I think it was last Thursday for a 3:30 in the afternoon game with 3 guys. And the problem with this is it's a WhatsApp group. People maybe have their name, but they may not have their name. It might just be a number. Some people have profile pictures, so you can at least see that. Sometimes
Yeah.
a profile picture is just the ocean, who knows? And sometimes no profile picture. And so you're just playing a guessing game. And they'll say their level on their like 1 to 5 scale. And these guys were like, "Oh, we're 3s," which, that was the recommendation of the coach. I'm better than a 3 now. I've already left it. I've left the 3s way behind. But
Wow.
I was like, I'll show up and play 3s. I would say it was 2 guys who were probably 75, 76, and 1 guy was like 85.
Amazing.
So it was me and the 85-year-old against the 2 75-year-olds. And I'll give them credit for their age. They moved well,
Yeah.
but still we were playing 10% speed.
Here's the issue with that is, so I mean, obviously this is what you run into in pickleball all the time, right? And they are technically very good. Like,
Yeah.
they can hit the ball really well. They hit smart shots. They know what they're doing, but they can't move. And you get into this awkward situation when you're playing is like, is the point to win or to have fun? And what's annoying then, if the point is to have fun, some of them are actually technically better than I am. So I'm not being an asshole and trying to like drop them when they're back in the court, but then I let them play it out and then they end up beating me because they can hit a better shot than I can, like at the net. So now I feel like an asshole. And then you start to get angry and then every once in a while you just have to drop one. But for instance, we did it. Me and my partner were playing. We did like the open play where you like mix with everybody, and then there's a few people there that we play with a little more regularly. So like we challenged them when there was like 30 minutes left, like, oh, last game, let's get you guys on this court. And the guy we played, he's not that much older. I mean, he's probably in his 50s, let's say. And he's still good, but he can't obviously he can't move as well as I can. And then we put a drop shot on him, and he ran so hard he like fell over into the net and
Oh
almost like
boy.
broke his ankle. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh no, like I can't be responsible for someone literally like snapping their ankle. Like you feel like
But that's
such an
on them, right?
asshole. I
I
know, but still, it is. You're
I
right, but
I agree with you. I mean, I at least have the benefit where I feel like technically I've yet to play someone who I thought was technically better than me. I mean, there are way better players than me in the club, but I've not got to them yet. So I
yeah,
can at least sort of move the ball around and kind of feel comfortable there. So against the old people, it's not too much of an issue. You still have frustrating moments where you're trying to have just a nice point, and then they go, "Here's my chance to win." I mean,
yeah,
and look, if that makes an 85-year-old guy's day, then great. I've done something good. The one thing I'll give them credit for, so we played and like the first couple games, me and the 85-year-old just won easily because I was sort of trying to figure out what speed do I need to go at and how do I keep some points going. Also, too, I'm there kind of to exercise. So if I just hit winners, it's just it's not fun for anyone, but also it's like I'm not even moving to do this. And so then I found a way to, like, kinda balance it out. We won the first set, like, 6-3, and then the next set, we went to a tiebreak, actually, and then we won that. But what I'll give them credit for, we sat down afterwards, and we were, like, changing after, and the one guy was like, "Oh, thank you so much for playing nicely with us." He was like, "I know you coulda won 6 love if you'd wanted to, but it was really fun. Like, thank you for doing that. Not everyone does that all the time." And so that to me, that's
nice.
the best way to handle it because not only does it guarantee like I would feel obliged to play with them again if they now asked me to because they did the like nice thing at the end, but also if I were now for whatever reason to play them in a competition, I would have to play that speed. Like
Yeah, which
it's a
sucks.
solid move from the guy of like thanks for being such a good guy about it. Like I
Yeah,
can't then be like, "Oh, this one counts." Smash. But
yeah,
in
yeah. No,
the
that's why I go ahead.
on the Thursday though, most people show up and they have their partner. I obviously show up, I don't have one. I'm still trying to, like, meet people. So I'm the odd one out, and I get stuck with whoever else is the odd one out, which this
Yeah.
time around, it was me and a woman in her 50s who if you told me she'd never walked before, I would have probably believed you. Like, if that had been and I don't wanna be mean about that, but like, how good is she with the racket was the least of our concern in terms of winning points, and that's where people were assholes because, like, we would play and they would quickly realize if we just hit to her, we win the point.
Yeah,
And then again, there's some people who are like, oh, we want to play points. So if I'll hit to you and we can have a few rallies, but then I'll win. Like, cause that's always the
yeah,
thing to me is like, you've got the winner in the bag there if you ever want it. But then we played a couple guys where it was just I wasn't on the court. They just hit to her every
yeah,
time. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, it's not fucking Roland Garros. Like, calm down. Like, let's
yep.
actually have some fun.
It is annoying. So that happens a lot, I think in when I play pickleball. And it's frustrating because like it's open just like rec style pickleball. You know what I mean? Like if you win or lose, it has no effect on your like Jupiter rating or whatever. You know, like you're just there to get better and to practice and to have fun. And people are like singling out the weak opponent on teams. Like I had a guy like the one a few days ago who's like, hey, listen, like just hit it to that guy to the right. Like just avoid the other guy. And I was like, no, I'm not like I literally said to the guy, I was like, maybe, but I'm not gonna like I'm here to just practice. Like I don't care about winning, dude. Like relax yourself here. Like what glory are you getting from this?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But
These are people who have never been athletes before. I can tell you that much.
no, I mean, that's the problem. The other issue I have, and again, like when I was playing this afternoon, the two people I was playing against, they did an illegal serve every time.
Ooh.
And it put me in the awkward spot of like, I don't want to be the asshole who's like, hey, by the way, you can't serve like that. But so I kinda let it slide, and once you've let it slide for a little bit, I didn't wanna wait until then, like, then they were winning their serve, and then I didn't wanna come across as the sore loser who's like, "Oh, that's not allowed." But, yeah, that's and I think that's the big issue. You got a lot of people who've never really played similar to the pickleball culture. Like, I think you got a few more former tennis players, but you're still dealing with a lot of people who've, like, never really played sport before, taking it
Yeah.
too seriously, can't handle losing very well. It's yeah. Now, we're not gonna do too much Winter Olympic talk, but I do have a couple of Winter Olympic
Yeah.
topics to mention.
Well, I'll tell you off the bat. I have been watching way more of the Winter Olympics than I ever imagined I would watch. I think partly because there's really not much else going on, and I think nicely the fact that because it's 7 hours, 6 hours ahead, I can put a lot of it on just, like, in the background. So, especially, like, all the hockey games have been on, while I'm at work, so I'll have my desktop and everything, and I'll be working, and I'll just put my laptop on the side and just kinda put that on and kind of just be able to listen to it a little bit. It's been really nice. But I've also caught myself watching a little bit of the figure skating, a little of the
Dr
curling,
drama in the figure skating.
a lot of drama figure skating, curling, a little
Drama in the
bit
curling
of
too. Cheating
yes, I know.
Canadians,
Yeah, I
ruining
know.
their tarnishing their reputation as the good guys in the world.
Yeah, we can cover it, but I've, even the speed skating, and I'll tell you what, I watched a lot, and I've done a little bit of what I consider the Hewitt move. I've watched some of these and thought, if this were actually a sport that I picked, I could be an Olympian in this sport. And that's why
Yeah.
I had a question to you I was gonna ask, 'cause I know secretly you've been watching a little more than you normally
Not a
would
huge
as
amount,
well.
but a decent amount, yeah.
Yeah. So, what's the sport that you think you could, with just, let's say, training? I'm not saying right now you go in, but had this been like when you were younger, someone was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, let's get you into this sport." You think? Because I'll start and I'll tell you mine. I think for sure
I'm
speed skating for me. I'll do mine. And I'll let you can go because
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense for you because 'cause you're fast and it kind of your lower body power, it's kinda leans into
a hundred
similarly
percent.
for you with your background, like, all the, like, bobsled
So
stuff, if you because they're
yeah.
mostly former track athletes who get converted to those types of sports.
So that's the other one. So for me, I think I would have more fun with the speed skating because, like, even when I play hockey, I'm actually relatively fast. Like, I'm one of the faster ones out there, and my form isn't that great. But just because I'm so strong with my lower body, I think had I picked up speed skating, it could have been good. But the bobsledding one is true too because um, I had a teammate and a roommate who is a multi-time Olympian, shot putter. And when he went to training camp, he was with someone who was a sprinter hurdler who converted to bobsledding, Lolo Jones. And she had said what they had done is they had put her through it's like a special kind of like scoring system where you do like 4 or 5 different events, and based on your score, they tell you whether you could make the development team and go and learn how to bobsled. And we did that same test at Penn State, and I won it like 3 years in a row with super ridiculously high scores. So, like, I literally could have been, I think, at at least a development center to figure it out. But I don't know if I would wanna do bobsledding. It looks like not a very fun event. Like,
I
even
think it
though,
would
like
terrify me.
it would me
I think
too.
bobsledding,
Oh,
luge,
me too.
skeleton, like, I don't think mentally I have what it takes. Bobsled, maybe. Luge
I
and
don't know,
skeleton,
dude.
luge and skeleton, absolutely no chance.
When they flip
Bobsled, you
over
could
that bobsled and it, like, smashes your head, that does not look
yeah.
good.
But you don't get the really catastrophic injuries in bobsled because you
I
kinda do
guess.
just, like, flip over and your head's just there, and it's just, like, your head bouncing. It's the
Yeah.
Cool Runnings scene, you're
Eh
just, like, bouncing
yeah.
off the it's probably terrible CTE, but it's other than that, it's nothing too bad, whereas
And I guess
luge,
at the end of the
skeleton, you can
day,
die.
yeah. And I guess at the end of the day, if someone told me, like, you could be an Olympian and best case scenario, you're in the back of a bobsled and you really don't see anything for 45 seconds and you're just like flying in a little piece of equipment. Worst case scenario, you tip over and you might like smash your head and concuss yourself. I guess it's would be worth it, but yeah, those are the two I think I could definitely have done if I had proper training.
Yeah, I mean So I'm gonna take the easy route and say what I think everyone's gonna say, which is curling. I 100%. I don't know how hard really curling is. Like, if I'd grown up, if it's 6 years old, like, if it had been like, "Oh, my parents are both former Olympic curlers." Am I just
Own a curling arena.
guaranteed Yeah, like, am I just guaranteed to be one of the best 20 curlers in the world? It
Yeah.
feels to me like yes. Like, honestly, I don't it doesn't feel like you need any particular physical attributes. You I guess you need very good sort of basic hand-eye coordination in terms of having the sense of the release and stuff, but if you're an okay, like, darts player, does that translate? You know, like, that there's a sense of timing there. I don't know.
No, I think bocce more.
Yeah, for sure. I that's the obvious one. Like, that's the one where deep in the back of my mind and I saw Kittle says that he thinks, like, one of his things when he retires, he wants to try and become an Olympic curler.
Okay.
That And his logic for why he could do it is that he's never really done it, and then he and some friends signed up for a tournament in Nashville, and they finished, like, 9th out of 20th, and his argument was they'd never done it before, so and I was like, "I don't know, I feel like you need to
How
say you
many other
won that
teams, though, have
had never
also
done
never
it."
done it and signed up for that
Yeah.
tournament, you know?
Nashville, that
Yeah.
well-known hotbed for curling, like,
W
it's
well, I mean, I'll tell you now, if you ever make it back here in the winter, we can easily test it out. There are multiple so, I mean, 80 to 90% of all the US curlers are from Minnesota. So,
here's the I know it's harder than it looks, like, I know just that slide thing is not
yeah,
easy, like, just to get that to have good balance and get that release. So I'm not implying that, like, I could just pick up, uh, a rock, is that what they're called? I think,
I think so.
and just
Stone,
be
stone.
stone, and just be amazing. But a as I said, I feel like if that had just been your thing,
Yeah.
then,
Actually, we could even do it in the summer. If next time you come, if you make it back, we can just do and they have, like, a whole for, like, 90 minutes, they teach you, and then you get, like, 90 minutes to do it. So we could
100%
do
I would
that.
do it.
We could try it next
Other than
time.
that, I mean, I skied as a kid, but I wouldn't exactly say I was ever an amazing skier, so it'd be hard for me to think that any ski-relating events and I certainly don't have the mindset to do, like, slalom. Like, that's, again, insane to me. My risk to reward thought process, I'm not gonna be doing, like, half pipe flipping through the air on a skateboard, that would never have been me. So, like, I can rule out everything skateboard and ski related, I think.
Well, they
Maybe
don't
I
do
mean, I don't
skateboard in the summer.
a skateboard, snowboard, I
Snowboard.
mean.
But
Maybe,
skateboarding in the snow would be crazy.
like yeah, and I definitely don't have the natural sort of physical closest thing in terms of what I think I would enjoy would be something like the biathlon, but then that does not lean into my physical strengths of just,
Yeah,
like, having super high fitness, anaerobic fitness, and, being able to, like, run uphill in skis. That ain't happening.
yeah.
But
That guy is an animal.
yeah. Oh, that one video
Culver or
that's gone
whatever his name
viral
is?
of the guy who, like,
Yeah,
sprinting uphill in that
but
event, yeah.
he's won the most he's now tied for second most medals of all time in the Olympics behind Phelps now.
Like like,
He's got
that to
9 or
me is an
10.
example, kind of that's the other end of the spectrum to me of, "Oh, no, you have special, unique physical gifts that only a handful of people, regardless of the sort of nurture element of it," and there's only a handful of people that could actually do what you do even if they dedicated their life to it. He's on the fully
Yeah,
other end. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I
I'll
don't
tell
think
you what,
there's
watching him has made me want to do cross country skiing next winter because that obviously is another thing you can do here, and just seeing, like, how brutal that uphill run looked kinda reminded me of, like, the really, really strenuous hikes I would do, like, in Arizona or, like, like, Grand Canyon, things like that, and just watching it was like, "Oh, that guy, that looks rough. I wanna try that." Like, he that has single-handedly made me want next year that I'm gonna do cross country skiing and try and do some of the hills and stuff
it's
for
interesting.
exercise.
So watching someone run up a hill faster in skis than most people just run up a hill without skis has made you wanna do it more.
Yeah, it's motivated me. That looks
Mm.
brutal.
It does, yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of Winter Olympic sports. Again, whilst I have tremendous confidence in a lot of things, like Honestly, the best chance I would have probably had is if I'd grown up and ice hockey had been a big thing, that maybe I could have been an okay ice hockey player. Like,
Yeah.
that's if that had really been a focus of my life, but then I'm not a good skater now. That doesn't mean I think I could never have been one, but, obviously that ship sailed by the time I was, 9. Uh, Other than that, honestly, I don't think the Winter Olympics would have been my domain.
Me neither. I'm not a big. I mean, we talked about this, I think, a few episodes ago. Like, I'm not a big winter guy. I mean, obviously ice hockey, a lot of hockey, but other than that, I don't really do any winter sports. I don't ski, I don't snowboard, so that
And
knocks off a lot.
to be honest with you, the proof of that is the fact I grew up in an environment that produced Winter Olympians. I lived in Salt Lake City for
Yeah.
8 years during my formative years,
Yeah,
and
what the fuck
whilst
were you doing?
I mean, I skied in the winter, and I did a lot of my parents actually really liked cross country skiing, so we would go, cross country skiing together, but it didn't like, I never had a desire to "Oh, let's go ski more." Whereas other sports or other activities, I wanted to do more and more of them. So
Yeah.
and you could argue that in part was due to the fact that my parents weren't that into it because they didn't grow up skiing or whatever, so it was sort of a novelty for them that they were happy to do, but still, the fact that I was not born to do it is represented in the fact that I actually had the chance to be pretty good at them had I focused on it and didn't develop any real skills.
So I guess getting
But
on to the Olympics then,
yeah. Well, have you seen the big
the actual people in it.
yeah, have you seen the big life imitating art story of in the women's ice hockey? You have,
Oh, the
Anna
heated
Anna
rivalry.
Anna Kjelbin and Rania Sovalainen. I've definitely mispronounced both of their names, one of whom is
Asshole.
Swedish and one of whom is Finnish, and they are engaged and competing against each other in the Winter Olympics. So,
Yeah, I did see
yeah,
that.
heated rivalry in the real world.
Yeah, I mean, there are multiple, instances for that in women's hockey. They are one of the main ones for the Olympics, but then there's also a few within the professional women's hockey league, that play against each other. It's interesting. I mean, did they actually play against each other? I think they did.
I
Sweden and
don't know.
Norway. I can't remember for the women's. Yeah,
Finland.
or Finland. Finland and Sweden, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know for sure. I think they did. I'm almost positive they played because I think that was part of the spectacle is that they were gonna play each other.
Yeah, but other than that, that was the big news that caught me. Actually, before we speak about the specific athletes actually tying into that, I'll kind of go back one step. ESPN did release, their 50
Oh god, here we
hardest
go.
60 hardest sports on a difficulty
Again?
range,
Didn't they
which
always do this? I
I
feel like
think
this
it's
is
a
the 5th time we've done this list.
So the categories were scored on nerve, agility, power, speed, strength, flexibility, durability, endurance, analytical elements, aptitude, and hand-eye coordination. Do you
Wait,
wanna
slow
take a
down, slow down,
guess?
'cause, wait, no,
You
'cause
want
I
you want me
wanna
to read that
I wanna
again?
argue some of this. Well, I wanna argue some.
Yeah.
Nerve is stupid. That is just because something's fucking, super scary doesn't make it a sport, and this is something that people who, call these things sports are gonna put in there purposely, like skydiving. "Oh, super high on the nerve scale." Like, yeah, of course, 'cause you're gonna fucking die. That doesn't make it a sport. That doesn't make it a difficult sport because the risk of dying is high. Nerve is a stupid one. I already hate this list. What are the other categories besides nerve?
So you heard nerve, which was the first thing I
Yeah,
listed,
I
and
heard
your
nerve and
brain
my
shut
mind.
down.
Yeah, my
You
mind
just
just blew up.
agility, you got an issue with that one? Is that not
No, that's
athletic?
that's legit. Agility is legit.
Power,
Yeah, that's fine.
speed,
Yeah, 100%.
strength,
That's it's close to
little
agility.
overlap
So
with
these are
power.
yeah, and agility and speed kinda overlap a little bit, okay.
Flexibility, which agility
Yeah.
kinda ties into a bit.
Yep.
Durability,
Is that like
and
endurance? Or
no,
like or
because
like
then endurance comes next. I'm not sure what I
oh,
guess
I guess
durability
durability
is
is
like
like
wear
your
and
body
tear.
breaking down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
uh,
that's fine.
analytics,
Oh,
so
I love
I
that.
guess your ability to process things,
Yeah, like
aptitude,
that's kinda similar too, but okay.
and hand-eye coordination, just
Yeah.
general.
Yeah. Or I think it should just be like hand and foot-eye coordination.
Yeah. Do you wanna take a guess at what number 1 is? So
If you tell me it's
this
like
is
snowboarding, I'm gonna be pissed.
degree of difficulty. That is the ranking.
I feel like hockey's gotta be up there. I'm sure it's not number 1, but I feel like hockey's gotta be in
Ice
the
hockey
top
is number
5.
2.
Okay. I think it is. I mean, I think that's legit. Number 1. Is it an obscure sport?
No, to be
Okay.
fair, in, like, the top 10, I would say only one of them is sort of obscure.
Is it American football? Is that number 1?
No, it's boxing, which I take huge issue with because I think
High on the nerve. That's high on the nerve, which is like,
high on the nerve or
are you willing
durability,
to die?
and
Are you
durability is
willing
a major factor, and no,
Yeah.
I'm not doubting again, like an elite boxer, their hand-eye coordination, their speed of movement, their agility, all of that, it's
Yes.
elite level, but, like, as we have discussed previously, and I think as we've had YouTubers go into the boxing world, you kind of see that
Yes.
with reasonable athletic background and a lot of hard work, you can become an okay boxer. Like,
Now yeah. Now I'll slightly defend it, but give a much better answer. I think wrestling would be a way b if you're gonna make the argument of that, I think wrestling very much deserves to be up there because I think, 1, the nerve thing is stupid. Like, that I think should be taken out, and I think that drops boxing a
you
lot.
fucking
But
hate the nerve.
it's true. But
So
wrestling, on the
nerve,
other hand,
just to tell you,
nerve
nerve
and durability is what boxing probably
nerve.
scored high on.
So for example, boxing got an 8. This is out of 10. Got an 8.88 on nerve, whereas ice hockey gets a 6 on nerve.
Yeah.
Wrestling ranked 5th overall, and on nerve, it's got a 5.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why it scored low. But, I mean, when you think about wrestlers, like, you have to have endurance, but also be super quick and agile. You have to be super flexible, like, and you have to be strong. Like, I think I would put wrestling 1, and I'd be completely fine with that. Like, I think there's no argument that wrestlers are some of the best athletes in the
But
world in terms of, like,
yeah,
pound for
but
pound.
best athlete versus how this is degree of difficulty. I would
But I
argue
think
as soon as you don't have a ball, a puck, or something else, the degree of difficulty is significantly reduced. Because, like, if you can't skate, if you've never skated before, and then I go play ice hockey, you
Yeah.
can't. Whereas if I just say, "Go wrestle this guy," of course, you're gonna get pinned instantly. It's not gonna be pretty, but you at least theoretically have done the thing you've been asked to do. Whereas, like, if you just immediately fall on your face, and I think that's in a sense, it's a little unfair on the ice hockey front, is that it's a skill that not everyone will have done
Yeah.
at a young age. But, like, I could go out and do something that resembles boxing or wrestling, and people are like, "Oh, okay." I can't,
Well
but here's where I take issue.
well, I think
This is
well
what
well,
undermines
I
the
think
nerve.
real
'Cause
quick. I think it's just I wanna finish up your point. I think I agree with you, but I think maybe you have to take this list with some sort of, like, you already have that basic skill because I agree because then you could get really crazy and say, like, I I mean, there are sports that are done on skates and are like skate soccer, like, people play, or, like, do, like, tennis on ice, like, that would be even crazier difficult, but I think you have to assume that you're taking the
well,
difficulty into account that you kind of already can skate
these are like
in a
real
way.
sports, I will say. Like, nothing on this is not a there's a couple sort of American unique ones. So to go back to why the nerve might be a little bit of bullshit. So boxing scores in the top 10, boxing actually has the highest on nerve, 8.88.
Okay.
Number 10th overall is rodeo steer wrestling, which is which on nerve scores a 7.88. Now, if you tell me I gotta go boxing tomorrow or steer wrestling, I think I'm a lot more afraid of the steer wrestling. That's just me. But I so yeah, the top 10 is boxing, ice hockey, football, which
Oh, slow down. Boxing, ice hockey, what football?
football.
American
I
or
think it
soccer?
must be it's American football, which putting American football as the third hardest sport, I think is
Again, tough
uh,
because that's so position dependent.
yeah. There's only one position that I think if we're talking about anything other than quarterback, the degree of difficulty gets significantly reduced. Basketball is number 4. I would also say
Oh, no. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Basketball shouldn't even be in the top. All the prerequisite for basketball is if you're tall, you have a so much
alright,
better
alright,
shot
alright,
of being
alright,
good.
alright. Okay, okay.
Get out of here,
Don't get on
basketball.
your low
Get
horse
out of
about
here,
this, okay?
basketball.
Wrestling, martial arts. It's very all-encompassing.
Okay.
Tennis, which tennis should be lower. I say this as a tennis player, like, I think tennis is harder than basketball, but it's neither of them should be in the top 10, nor should football. Gymnastics. I mean, gymnastics is way harder than boxing.
Yeah.
Again, you go and ask me to do most gymnastics, like, events, it ends I'm not walking away from it. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane. Baseball/softball, which I actually think should be high baseball this is tough. Hitting a baseball is, like, everybody technically impossible, the speed of human reactions and stuff. That's way harder than basketball.
Way harder than basketball. Yes, 100%.
What Shohei Ohtani does is infinitely harder than what LeBron James does. Like,
Yes.
soccer is then next. Alpine skiing,
What defines alpine skiing? Is that just like
I
downhill?
guess I guess that's just downhill, yeah. Uh, water polo. Fair enough, like, they are incredible athletes, water polos, 'cause they
Yeah.
hold their
No, water
breath for
polo is
ages
tough.
and
Yeah. Well, I watch
rugby,
water polo. That's one of the sports I watch, and I say, I don't ever want to do that. Like,
yeah.
like I watch those guys get beat up. Like that is, yeah. Water polo is rough.
Water polo should be higher, I think. Rugby, again, it's a little
Yeah.
position dependent, but rugby to me is a harder sport overall than American football. Like, there is more skill in most positions than an American football player would have. Lacrosse,
Eh.
again, I think lacrosse is harder than American football. You at least need to be cradling a ball at high speed. You kind of you're gonna every player has to have pretty good vision as to open field movement.
Yeah.
And then there's the rodeo steer
I
wrestling
mean,
rounding out.
lacrosse is basically ice hockey, but without skates.
Yeah.
So if you think ice hockey's number 2, then lacrosse should be pretty high on that list.
I don't
Which I
think
guess it
here's
is.
the
It's
issue is,
9.
every sport that they list, I feel should be lower, but then I can't necessarily think of the sports that should be higher. This
Yeah.
is the tough thing. I mean, it then gets into, like, pole vault. I mean, maybe that's higher.
That's super specialized. Jesus Christ.
Field hockey, speed skating, figure skating, cycling, they mean, like, Tour de France, which
Mhm.
again, degree of difficulty, the percentage of human beings on Earth who could legitimately complete the Tour de France versus the number of people who could play in the NFL, I think the number is way bigger on the NFL front. Like, so ho again, it's tough, like, I don't know how you do this list properly.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, but are we talking about without drugs? Because then if that's the case, then no one can complete the Tour de France.
Volleyball, racquetball/squash, surfing, arguably surfing maybe should be higher, you know,
I'm
fencing.
surprised like snowboarding, like half pipe isn't on there. Because
So you
I
get
think that would hit a lot of the checkpoints. Like you have to be that's kind of nervy. You have to be agile, quick, kind of have to be a little strong, like in your legs for half pipe.
so you don't why it's bullshit? So, like, number 46 is bowling. Fuck off. Absolutely. How is bowling like,
Is bowling
bowling on
above
en
pickleball?
bowling scoring a 2.25 on endurance? How is it scoring how is it scoring anything other than 0.1? Like, you just need to be alive. Like, how?
Well, how many games are you bowling a day? I don't know. Do they bowl like 7 a day?
Like
Your arm might just fall off.
and billiards is number 48. Billiards
Well,
billiards is a
you gotta
1
start
on
dropping eventually.
billiards is 1 on endurance. Why is bowling twice as physically demanding as billiards?
'Cause there's a slight run up.
I mean, it's
There's a 4-step walk up. After
let me
time,
let me
those steps accumulate after time.
let me tell you, I'll read out just we'll wrap this up by I'll read out the scores they gave to bowling. So endurance 2.25, strength 2.75, power 3.38, speed 1. I mean, how is it even a 1? What's the speed requirement? Agility 1.88. I could maybe argue it requires more agility than endurance because at least when they do that like little the proper like leg kick thing, there's at least of a physical element there. Flexibility
But
2.38. I guess that's what they're thinking. Nerve 1.63. Durability
what?
1.25. Hand-eye coordination 4.75.
Okay.
Analytics 4.13. It's the analytics is maybe like the only thing that could maybe
Yeah.
be higher. I don't know, but it's also not
What
that
did
hard to
darts
work out
score in
what you do.
analytics?
Darts is not even on this list.
Wow. I think I would argue darts is harder than bowling.
I think so. I think so. There's more because fundamentally bowling, you basically just need to master
Wha
one thing
Yeah,
and you're already really good. Like if you can just be like, I can consistently just bowl a strike, even if you can pick up a spare to save your life. If you're already like, I get 6 strikes a game, it's like, oh, that's already a decent score. Like you're way better than the
yeah.
average person.
A
So
and I would also argue too, like, with bowling, the main thing is just get as many pins as possible. Like, you're never really, like, having to calculate anything, whereas in darts, like, I am always super impressed when you watch these guys who, like I don't wanna be mean, but the mental math they're doing in their heads to get to the scores they're doing is quite impressive. Like, sometimes they're even ahead of the announcers in, like, they'll go a different route than what is, like, people predict they'll go,
yeah.
and the announcer it takes the announcer a second to be like, "Oh, he's going for, like, this and then this. Oh, and he got it," and it's like, "Damn, that was quick. Like, how the fuck did he think that was his move?" Like, it's
Yeah.
actually somewhat impressive.
It is, but then if you just throw darts all day, you would start to learn like, oh, if I'm on 110, this is the sequence I like to do. Oh, it's
I get
112,
that,
this
but
is the sequence.
still.
It's yeah, no, it's still quick. It still requires some especially because sometimes they change it up. If they're playing badly and they're like, "Oh, I'm not hitting double 20s as much. I wanna switch to double 16." Their ability to make that change is pretty
Yeah.
rapid. So,
But
yeah, but
but
I
but
mean
what's the analytics in bowling? Oh, I got 8 pins. Now I need to get 1, 2 okay, the remaining 2. Okay, I got it now. Like,
uh,
where's the analytics in that?
so, like, golf, I think should be way higher. Golf is, like, 44th.
So golf's right by bowling. That's crazy.
Golf is yeah, golf's a few above bowling, a few above curling, archery. Cheerleading is 1 below golf. Horse racing is above golf.
Wait, 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 wait,
Canoe/kayak?
wait, 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 wait. Is that for the horse or for the jockey?
Unclear, unclear.
Because if it's for the horse, I get it.
But see, this is where it's bullshit too, so, like, horse racing, endurance 4. I would say a jockey needs not only for a single race, depending on how long the race is,
The
endurance needs
whole
to be
fucking
high,
day.
but they're also racing 7 times in a day with a 30-minute break in between.
In the
Like,
States, they're doing 13 races a day.
yeah, like, that's way more like, roller skating gets a 4.75 on endurance and horse racing gets a 4.
What the fuck is roller skating?
I don't know.
That's not a sport?
Well, according to this, it is.
And
Alright,
pickleball's
table
not in the
tennis.
top 50. Is
They have
pickleball in the
table
top 50?
tennis. No, I think you gotta wait a
Come
year or
on.
2 before they start putting that in.
Come
I guess
on.
you'd I guess you yeah, no, it's not there.
What is squash? You said squash, didn't you?
Racquetball/squash is like 16th, 17th. It's
Okay, then
slightly
pickleball
harder than
probably in like the 25-30 range.
it's slightly
No,
harder than
seriously.
surfing or fencing, but it's easier than volleyball or figure skating, speed skating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
take
guess the it
some
I
issue with
I mean, I guess your issue here is you're arguing that bowling shouldn't be in the top 50, but you're at
no,
that bottom of
I
the
want it to
list,
be in
you're
the
starting
top
to name
100.
sports. You're starting to name sports that aren't even sports. You said roller skating. And not only that, the scores you gave out were crazy low. Like, everything was like a 1 and a 2. So I guess at some point, you have to get to the bottom of the list here.
It's a top 60. So, for example, to give you the lowest score I have, I can't see
It's
actually number
walking.
60. So
Number 60
billiards
is
gets a
walking.
billiards overall difficulty is a 21.5, whereas boxing is a 72.37.
That's a huge jump. Out of
Yeah,
100 or out of 80?
out of 100, 100 would have been a perfect score, I guess. Oh, no. How many categories? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 100 is a perfect score, 10 categories.
Nerve. They've got some nerve putting nerve as a category.
Yeah. Now, speaking of someone with a lot
Wait,
of
but
nerve.
I guess you didn't that was all your Olympics coverage, though. You didn't wanna actually discuss any of the
Oh.
controversies?
Oh, yeah, we can discuss the controversies.
I did have someone request a little bit more information about what we talked about last time with the ski jumper, and the controversy called Penisgate. So I'll just quickly I had a little side story about it, um, that, one of the newspapers, I forget what it was, contacted Dr. Alessandro Latara. And he is one of the leading experts in penis enlargement. He's performed over 3,000 procedures in Germany. He's one of the leading doctor in terms of experience, surgical figures, and scientific work and publications. And he
Just to
said,
interrupt you, to just does 3,000 sound does that, like, is that surprisingly high to you or surprisingly low when it comes to, like,
low.
the leading person on that
That's
front?
actually a lot lower than I thought. I thought it would be 300,000.
Yeah, I thought it'd
But
be
I guess
30 a day.
3,000 would mean if you've been doing it for 10 years, then
You're doing
that's
300 a year.
That's actually a decent amount. Almost 1 a day, probably a
Yeah, I
little
would've
more
just
even.
well, it depends if that's what he's doing, 1 a day doesn't seem like a lot.
No, I mean, I'm sure he's like a plastic surgeon in general, but, like, yeah, it's kind of a
Specializes in
decent amount,
this.
I guess. So he said, regarding the news in question, I did in fact treat an athlete from that sport whose name and nationality I will obviously not disclose, nor whether he is participating in these Olympics. However, I can say that I treated him last month and used a generous dose of hyaluronic acid. He then said, that the ski jumper told him he was wanting this procedure to avoid embarrassment in the changing room after competition. And I cannot say whether he told me the whole truth, but in any case, this is very Trumpian. We did a great job and implanted more than a generous dose of hyaluronic acid. The result is immediate, so the athlete could wear the new suit after just a few minutes.
Eh, yeah, it's so weird to me.
So, so I guess the reason is, so I again dug a little deeper, is that apparently this is the ski jump where it's like the big air one, right? Where you're trying to stay in the air as long as possible. Apparently, the crotch area is a major area for drag and resistance. It's like one of the hot spots of the suit. So if you
Yeah, I
have a
mean,
bigger suit, it's like a squirrel, like when he spreads out the wings, kind of thing. So I
like
guess,
a flying squirrel, basically, is
yeah,
what they're trying to that's what they're aiming for. So
yeah,
they're
but I
hoping
guess,
for the extra material to, like, create a wing in
yes.
between their legs, basically.
Yeah, so you get that little, like, almost like a webbed crotch area with the bigger suit, and I guess that's a major point when they do, like, the aerodynamics test on it. But apparently now it's gotten so bad that they actually body scan people at the starts of seasons to see if they are injecting themselves or not.
So it's not permanent.
No, I don't think so.
It's immediate but temporary.
I'm assuming yes.
Interesting. What a world we live in.
Yeah.
I'm quite envious of ski jumpers that their problems in
So
life have got so small that now they are worrying about marginal gains in performance from enlarged penises. What a talk about first world problems.
So Dr. Latara says it depends on the individual characteristics, but realistically, at least 3 times a year to maintain the size. God, that's wild.
Yeah. It's a tough one too, right? Because like, kinda
20
how do you
milliliters they inject. That's a lot. As someone who, like, works with syringes and, like, measurements, like, I can clearly picture what 20 milliliters looks like, and that is a lot of liquid.
and so basically, I mean, you won't know. They're basically is it just that the liquid in there is enlarging your penis, or
I
there's
think so.
some
I think it's like a gel. It's like a filler. It's like filler.
I have so many we need to get this doctor on because I have so many questions then about, like, the mechanics of that and how that changes in different circumstances, I guess, would be the thing. Like,
Yeah, I understand what you're
eh,
asking. I
that
mean,
doesn't
and I think the other thing that makes this even crazier is now I'm picturing the procedure. It's definitely not just a one injection. It's gotta be a multiple injection to
like, in different
multiple
spots.
areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not just sticking
Jesus
because otherwise it
Christ.
just looks like you got a massive tumor on your dick.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
This is great.
"Oh."
The
Like,
body
I
scan at the beginning of the season is like, "Listen, sir, we don't know if you're trying to cheat or if you immediately need to see a doctor."
It's like, I didn't wanna be embarrassed in front of my colleagues in the changing room, so now I have an elephant man dick. Like, that's problem solved. No one comments on my small penis anymore. They do look at me with grave concern for my health,
They
though.
just vomit every time they look at me.
I consider that a massive win. No one's
Oh, that's
no one's yelling
crazy.
"little dick" at me anymore.
Oh, man, that's insane.
I think if we were in that bar in San Diego and that woman started calling you little dick. Imagine if you would come back. I am not. I have my penis injected with 20 milliliters of fluid once every 3 months, okay?
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, what a world. What a world.
Yeah, and then I guess the other big scandals that you mentioned was the Canadian curling, where, uh, he during the match, it was alleged that the Canadian curler retouched the stone after letting go, and then called the other person a liar and then started dropping F-bombs, but video does kind of prove that he definitely retouches it with his finger. Whether that does
Does.
anything, I don't know, but he
But also,
definitely retouches it.
he 100% retouches it, which he's allowed to do, right? He just can't retouch it once it's crossed the line, and then there was a debate as to if he retouched it in time, like, I don't know. We've spoken about lots of sports and how slow motion replay has ruined them. I don't think we need this type of level of attention to detail within the world of curling. Like,
Yeah.
if you got away with that one, good for you.
But quite a shouting match they had after that.
Yeah, not very Olympic. The whole spirit of the Olympics was not exactly embodied in the curling. That to me would almost be reason enough to ditch it as a sport. Like, if that's how fights break out in your sport, you don't deserve to be in the Olympics.
Yeah. What was the other one
Any
that you
other
you you brought up? The French ice dancing team winning over the US ice dancing team was some controversy as well. Multiple actually, because the team itself is quite controversial because they weren't a team up until like a few months ago, but one person left their partner and the partner was I think suspended for like 6 years. So that the team itself was a little controversial, but their win was because the French judge scored the French team substantially higher than the American team, and he was kind of like the only one to really do so or to like have that much of a gap. Like it was a noticeable difference where you can I think rightfully assume he was judging the French team a lot higher than the Americans on purpose, which cost them a medal, which yeah, is kind of weird, and I think that's always gonna happen in those sports.
Do you think you could be friends? I think if someone told me that they were a figure skater, ice dancer, any of that, I'm immediately putting them into such a weirdo category that I don't think I could be friends with them.
Um, are we talking about at any level, or they have to be, like, professional?
Like, no, not professional, but competed seriously, really care about it.
I think I could still be friends with them. I would judge them a little bit for sure. Um, but
Just
but I
everything
could be
about
friends
it,
with just about
the whole
anybody.
dynamics within all of those sports seems so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's a
I don't
little
know,
similar to gymnastics.
a little bit. I wouldn't be friends with a gymnast either.
Oh, I am.
Wow, reconsider that. Are they a
He's a
listener?
good guy. He's a good guy.
Oh, a
He's
male
a sometimes
gymnast,
listener. Yeah, yeah,
even weirder, even weirder. I
yeah.
hope he listens to
He
this
was on the
episode.
he was on the Belgium national team as a junior. He's quite normal.
But yeah, no, it's, yeah, I've been watching slightly more than expected, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I struggle with, like, deep down, I don't know if the Winter Olympics should really be called Olympics. I sort of feel like they should just
Win-
be the Winter
Winter events.
Games,
Yeah, winter
and that is what
events.
it is. But, like, I would be very disappointed if someone told me they were an Olympian. If I was like, "Oh, come meet this guy. Oh, he's an Olympian. He won a gold medal, and then he was a curler," I've immediately lost interest. I mean, I would still have a lot of questions, but the esteem with which I would have held them
You would have
prior to
you'd have questions, but you wouldn't be interested in the
no, in
response.
the
So let
answers.
me ask you this. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
As he
I don't
starts
give a
talking.
shit what you say in response to this, but how hard is it?
So how often do you train? Don't care.
Just walk away. Just close the door and walk off as he answers. But no, I don't know. I just feel like I get why they are, but it just be the winter games. Because even I've watched some of the ice hockey. I don't I don't think you should have an Olympic sport that realistically is fundamentally played by,
Three
like,
to
8
four teams.
countries.
I
You
mean,
know, that
less.
to me
It's way
well,
less. I mean, four competitive ones. Let's say.
yeah, yeah, but, like, realistically, Russia, the
Well, they're not in it.
Scandinavian Nordics, Canada, US. Like, that they have
Yeah.
legitimate and I don't think that shouldn't Olympics need to be sports and this is my issue, like, cricket is becoming a bit more global, but, like, cricket's entering in the Summer Olympics. I don't think it should be. I'm not just picking on sports that I, like, don't watch as much. I don't think cricket should be but I think Olympics, they gotta specifically and this is, I guess, the issue is as soon as you become the Winter Olympics, like, I don't think there's a lot of people in Nigeria doing the ski jump either, you know? So there's sort of inherently a certain bias towards different regions, different climates. Ice hockey is kinda no different, but yeah, at least
Yeah.
you can train. In some of these sports, you can do the training in dry conditions, like, you can do the bobsled training on the dry
Yeah.
runs. You can't do I guess you can do roller hockey, but you're not gonna become an
You could.
Olympic level ice hockey player. Like, "I'm putting on skates for the first time. This is gonna be great."
Well, that's what I'm trying to shoot for now at age 40. That's why I've moved here.
Okay. You're like you're podcast Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, and I think once the hockey ends for me, that'll kind of be a little bit much less watching. So the women's final is on Thursday, Canada versus the U.S., which will be a great matchup, and then the men's have started the playoff bracket. I think today. So I think the quarterfinals I think are Wednesday.
I did listen to
Starting for
some,
that.
like, butthurt Boston radio show talking about how upset they were with the timing of the men's final, because the men's final is being played
Super
I think
early,
it's
right?
well, it's like
In
8 in the
America, it's
morning
early.
8 in the
Yeah,
morning in the US, and they're like, "Why can't it be prime time?" But it's being
yeah,
played on the same day as the closing ceremony, so
it
it has to
has to
be
be.
before night, but they were very upset
Yeah.
about this, and it was just a major disrespect to
Well,
them.
I mean, it's probably the most watched event
You
for
think?
most of
Globally?
probably.
I don't know.
Yeah. What else are you watching though? Because at least globally, you've got Canada, US, all the Scandinavian countries, and then you probably have a good amount of European countries that are still watching it. Like, I don't know what the most other watched one would be.
I don't know. I feel like figure skating and that stuff, people globally, I think people that probably gets
I don't know. I mean, but why can't you just have it the day before the closing ceremony? Because for instance, the women's final is at, I think, like 1 PM Eastern time. So, like, you could do it if you just did it the day before, you could have, like, a noon start. Like, it is kinda weird that you have it so early. I get you want it to be one of the closing events, but still.
So, I've put it to Gemini, our now trusted AI support. It says that historically, the most viewed Winter Olympic events are figure skating 1, alpine skiing 2,
Wow.
and ice hockey 3, and then snowboarding 4, biathlon 5, ski jumping
Alright,
6.
I'm gonna stop you there. When biathlon makes a top 5 of most watched events list, this is something maybe we have to readdress. Is the Winter Olympics really that, like, special of an event? I
But
mean,
this is
people are
again
too and I watched
but
some
this
of it. Like, I will admit, I watched probably 30 minutes of a biathlon event a few days ago. It was okay to watch, but it got boring very quickly.
But here's the thing is though, right? Because so much of it is like what viewership figures are like is so heavily driven by, is your country good at that? So for example, I would in France, there are traditionally quite good French biathletes. And so I was in the gym the other day, the biathlon was on the TV. Like that was, and if you had turned around and said, "Hey, Canada, US ice hockey men's right now," they would have told you, "Fuck off." Like this is, we don't give a shit. Like we're gonna watch a French guy win a gold medal. But like that's, and so
Yeah.
that's the issue is like so much of it depends on, is my country good at this? But
I think the French guy did win the gold medal actually in the one I watched.
I think he did.
He
Yeah.
either got gold or silver. He got
Now changing speeds,
oh,
talking about adaptability, maybe durability as well. I don't know if you saw, but at the NFL honors event that was held last week, Trent Williams took his girlfriend
oh.
to the event, not his wife.
Say what?
So, yeah. So he has children with both of them, and his wife has publicly stated that she's okay with it. She had, quote, she said, "Is Trenton and I still married? Yes. Has he cheated and did he have a child outside of our marriage? Yes. Am I bitter? No."
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a
I mean,
unique
I don't wanna
arrangement.
speak to yeah, I don't wanna speak to people's relationships, obviously, we don't have inside information, but that is quite interesting. That is,
The thing that I take issue,
unique.
like, in terms of open marriages or whatever, if that floats your boat, go for it. The thing that's interesting to me there, and not that we're the right podcast for this, but she specifically says he has cheated. So there's an acknowledgement there that whatever arrangement they may have, he has broken those rules, right? So that's
Or
different. That's
originally.
yes,
Originally, he did, and then they got on the same page about it.
maybe,
Uh, like,
or he just pays
originally,
her
it wasn't
enough.
originally, there was no conversation of an open relationship.
Yes.
He assumed, he went for it, it was against the rules, but now the rules have been changed.
Yeah, he was like he got caught and he was like, "Wait, we're not polyamorous? I thought we agreed to this. I thought we were trying to be really progressive with our approach to relationships." But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Interesting.
interesting for Trent Williams.
It's not where I thought you were gonna go with that. NFL
No,
awards start.
just thought I'd mix it up. The other interesting thing, completely, like we obviously talk about sports gambling and betting markets at different moments in time. America is being taken over by these
Oh,
prediction
Poly
markets,
Market.
completely
Ugh,
unregulated.
so annoying.
An example of how they're being manipulated yesterday, I think it was. I think that's when when Logan Paul sold the most expensive card in history. So he
Pokemon,
sold
yes.
he sold a
Pokemon.
Pokemon card. Someone was betting on Polymarket that the card would sell for over $15 million, and they made $305,000 placing those bets. So if you think about it, and I'm not accusing Logan Paul of doing anything, but you wouldn't need to physically have money change hands on the 15 million. you could instead just bet on an unregulated market that you were gonna sell this card for over a certain amount. Like, you and I could say, like, "Hey, next time on the episode, we're putting this we're putting our picture that Frank drew up for auction, and then, hey, on Polymarket, it's 100 to 1 that it sells for over $1,000,000. You and I just bet on that. I buy it for $1,000,000. I never give it to you, but we pocket the cash that we made off Polymarket." Like, it's insane to me that you could do this and get in absolutely no trouble for it.
I mean, I was just gonna say now, you've now just ruined it, and now we can't fucking do it, and you've exploited our or you've, told everyone our secret, but I think we could still do it. That's how ridiculous I think
No,
it is that I
not
think
only
we
could
could still pull it off.
not only could we still pull it off, but even if we spent weeks telling people what we were gonna do, we could, A, not only pull it off, but then we could just fucking short it and go, "Oh, fuck, it sold for $1." Like, everybody was just laying those bets left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's dumb about it, is even if you try and think how are they gonna manipulate it, they could just manipulate it the other way, and then, like, whichever way, they can just watch the market move and be like, "It makes most sense for us to sell it for over 15,000,000. Oh, actually, this needs to fail. We'll sell it for 20,000 and we'll make a billion out of that too." So I don't understand. It's got to be some kind of crackdown and regulation has to take place. Otherwise, this is just allowing people to just
To scam
already
other people.
already cryptocurrencies are insane enough, but this is going one step further.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, you get gambling in the US, people should be happy, but no, they still gotta push their luck and scam and just take advantage of systems and ruin it for everybody. And this is why Minnesota still doesn't legalize sports
Oh,
gambling because
this
people
is
like this.
This is yeah, if you're a state that hasn't legalized gambling, this is 100% why you shouldn't. Because this
Yep,
is a classic example of giving people an inch and they take a yard.
yep,
Like, this
100%.
is it's like, "Look, all we wanna do is bet on our NFL games on Sundays," and then it's like, "Now, actually, I wanna bet on which girlfriend Trent Williams is taking to the NFL awards." Like, I need to be able to if I don't have that market, the world is fucked. Like, it's insane
No,
what
it's
people
it's
want.
it's way crazier. I mean, I saw one yesterday that was I am betting how many you could pick a random intersection
Oh, yeah, I've
and
seen
bet
those videos.
how many cars go through the intersection before the next
Yeah,
red light. It's
yeah.
that's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's and again, the ability to fix that, like,
Yeah,
A, how do you know it's really a live feed? Like, "Oh, yeah, this is a random town in Colorado." How do you know that they're not just gonna cause a traffic jam, like, "Fuck, this
yeah.
guy's gonna nail it," like, crash your car and stop the road quickly.
Yeah,
Like, it's
and
so
there's nothing you could
stupid.
even do. Like, you could literally be on your phone betting it, stop in the middle of that intersection, like, hold
Yes.
your phone up to the camera that's doing it, and then there's and this is the problem, there's no regulation, you would win that bet. There's no rule against you doing this, and unfortunately, what's gonna happen is someone's gonna do something like that, and it's gonna cause, like, something very bad to happen, and then
Yes.
it's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's if, for example, already there's that guy who's betting on would there be a streaker at the Super Bowl, and then he did it himself.
Yep,
And again, if you're doing that through a regular bookmaker, they just void that bet. That's a no question, like, you can't do that, but, on Polymarket, that's allowed. And
yep,
so he has to pay his penalty fee and whatever, and he's banned from NFL stadiums. But if he made enough money on it, who really cares? Like, it's insane to me. And you're right, at some moment in time, someone's gonna push the envelope too far, and it's gonna be something, like, really bad, like someone getting
yep.
hurt or whatever,
Or
and then that's
or
gonna
even, like,
be
unintentionally, like, to try and win a bet, they're gonna,
yes.
like, get into an accident and potentially, like,
Yeah, yeah.
injure or
They're
kill
gonna
someone,
they're gonna
like
run into the road randomly in some town in Colorado to
yeah,
stop traffic and get themselves
yeah,
killed because 'cause they're trying to make some money on Polymarket. But
yep.
yeah, and I already saw that Polymarket is now worth more than DraftKings.
It's crazy.
Like, it's and, you listen to their again, you listen to their CEO talk, and he's just such a despicable, unlikable human being. It's a like
We're just giving individuals the opportunity to bet in an open free market. It's no different
yeah,
than the stock market. That would be, like,
yeah.
my guess.
Yeah, it's not too dissimilar. It's like a lot of hitting a lot of the points. Like, if
Yep,
people wanna do it, why should we stop them? We're just giving
Yeah.
them the platform with which they could do it. These are the types of bets that people were placing amongst their friend group before. And it's like, yeah, it's very different if you or I are sitting there and I go, I bet you the next car that comes down the road is red, like $5. That doesn't mean that it's like, let's scale that. Like, let's like, there's there's a huge difference there. Like, I can find that little thing, like, I can find sitting in a bar placing, like, a stupid thing for fun, not being like, "We need to turn this into a massive
Yeah.
machine and get
Yeah.
everybody to do it."
I mean, it slightly reminds me of there was that not so great, but actually not so terrible movie, probably now, like 8 or 10 years ago. There was the actress in it was famous. Oh, shoot, who was it? I can't remember who it was. Maybe like Emma Roberts. Oh, it could be Emma Roberts. Where like it was like an app where people challenged you, and if you did the challenge, you like scored a bunch of points, and then like the challenges kept getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And like it was a satire on like that people have these things available to them and like how far will people go with these types of like open market like things. And it's like it's so true. We're seeing it in real time almost right now with Polymarket.
Yeah. Well, this is a shame. We can't really have satire anymore because there's no more satirical version of what already exists. Like anything previously that you would have used a satirical approach to, that just exists now. So, that kind of art form is dead.
The movie was called Nerve, starring Emma Roberts and Dave Franco. God, the
Nerve.
shit. Nerve. There we go. That game was high on nerve. The shit that rattles in my brain amazes me sometimes. How I remember Emma Roberts in that movie.
Yeah. Other than that, any other sports topics to discuss?
No, you had a off week in the Premier League. You had the FA Cup, and actually we have Champions League now, Eddie. That might matter. It finally
Yes,
matters now.
Champions League is back tonight, and yes, there's actually it's very easy to understand who needs to
Well,
win and why.
yeah, who needs to win? But there's still slight controversy. So, like, once they win, where they go a little bit, but
Yes,
at least it makes
who they're
somewhat
pl
more sense now.
who they're playing next, I can't necessarily guarantee, but yeah, at least I much prefer this that I
Yes.
know, "Hey, I think PSG definitely want to beat Monaco." Like, I
Yeah.
can this
Win
matters
and
to
you
them.
stay, lose and you're gone. That's easy to understand. Now, actually, real quick, I don't know. Is it just one leg or is it two legs?
I think it's 2 legs, no? Yeah, it's 2 legs. Because you can never have enough Champions League matches.
No, never. Any other sports then you want to cover?
I think that was pretty
Okay.
much it.
I also had a list, but I'll save the list for next episode because we don't want to do too many lists on a show. I think mine is actually pretty good. That we might get some good content from you on it. Um, but I'll save that for next episode as a slight teaser. I guess we can go on then to kind of our pop culture side before we get into the Night of the Seven Kingdoms penultimate episode and the Pit. I have a slight Tenable recap because obviously our listeners will know now. I every night now I watch Tenable. It's on at a perfect time right during dinner, so we kind of put it on and watch it or listen to it as we're eating. I saw one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a group yet. Granted, I'm new. I've only probably seen 20 or 30 episodes, but this was by far one of the worst.
Admittedly, that's a lot more than the average person.
Okay.
You say that as if this is like you and your I think Tenable and, Tipping Point,
Oh,
you're in the top
I might
1% of viewers.
I might have seen every episode of Tipping Point by now.
Yeah.
That show
Like,
is
if
liquid
you and
gold.
Ben Shepherd had a head-to-head on Tipping Point, you probably are beating him on terms of, like, episode 161, the guy got 7,
I
markers to drop with his final attempt.
I mean, I would love to talk to Ben Shepherd for a game that is so easy. And now we're talking about Tipping Point for those who don't know. A game that is so easy, how people can still continually mess it up. It's just crazy to me. And like at some point, I mean, he must just kind of be there and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, how do you not get this? How do you not get when to drop a coin?"
I don't think he's mentally there. I think that's
Okay.
just I think that's a paycheck that you just go, "Hey, Frank, here's your question, and which sector do you wanna drop that in?" And then you just, like, peace descends within your
It's not
mind
section, Eddie,
as
it's drop zone.
sorry. As that takes place, you're just, like, physically there, spiritually, you are somewhere else.
So getting back to the Tenable real quick, just a few highlights I want to point out for this team. This one I thought was great, and admittedly, yes, I'm living in the States, so sometimes when they ask questions about the US, it's much easier for me than obviously someone who lives in the UK because it's a UK show. But the question was, name the 10 the first 10 states alphabetically that contain the letter O.
Oh, but you don't have to go in order. You just have to
Just
get the first 10.
alphabetically.
Wow, there's more than 10 that contain O?
Contain, doesn't start, just contain the
Yeah, yeah,
letter
yeah.
O. There's a lot, yeah. This woman's first answer was Ottawa.
Yeah. See, the okay, so you're gonna be harsh on her there for naming something in Canada, but again, for a non-American, your knowledge
But
of states may not be that good. This
but it's a
I do
city.
get I do get yeah, okay, but still. Yeah, if we wanna test your European geography, you might slip up on some stuff that a European would be like, "How on earth have they got that wrong?" But
I understand that, but that's
the
your
the one
first
thing
answer.
the one thing I will say is, I guess with the bright lights on you, you might think that'd be like, contain O, it's gotta start with O. Like, I'm naming things alphabetically starting with O. Like, that might be your slight issue. I mean, the
So
problem with
the
that is even starting with O, you've not gone alphabetically first, but
Yes. So then she asked one of her teammates who said California. That then got her
that's a good
going.
answer.
Good answer. That got her going. She goes, "Oh, I know one. Florida." Correct. Good
Good
answer.
good answer.
They said, "Okay, next one." She said, "Chicago." And she was out. That was it. That was the extent. She had one on the board, two on the board, I guess. One that was hers.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of those things that if you're a non-American,
Yeah.
it's a lot harder than if you're American. I
Yeah.
still think I might get them wrong in terms of the 10.
You could get a decent amount though.
I could get a decent number, but, like,
Yeah.
I could definitely see myself forgetting one that
Yeah,
just
yeah, of
contains an
course.
O.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, it
of
actually
course, I get it.
surprises me how many even contain no, I don't know. Anyway,
Probably like 15 or 20. I mean, there's a I mean, 'cause now I don't remember what the answers were because I didn't even stay to see. I was just laughing so hard that she got kicked out so quickly.
22.
Yeah.
3 start with O, Ohio, Oklahoma, and Oregon,
Ooh.
and 19 have O within them. Do you want me to give them to you alphabetically?
No, do you wanna just give it for our listeners what the first 10 would be? So
Yeah,
Arizona is 1,
yeah. California,
uh,
Colorado.
California, Connecticut.
Connecticut's not on this list. Oh my god, they've missed one on the list.
Ooh.
So, I'm gonna 23, as it turns out. Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Louisiana, Missouri. Yeah, that's the 10.
Yeah, you wouldn't even get to the O states.
No.
That's where you would be screwed. Like, if she had said Ohio and it's not on there, I understand that. Because at first I thought that's what the question even was, and I was like, "There's not 10 states that start with the letter O," and then I read it wrong. So I
Fun
might have done that at first.
fun fact, Colorado, New Mexico, and South Dakota contain 2 O's.
There you go.
That's just take that fun next time you're in the bar, throw that fun fact out to a group of strangers. See how they do see how they treat you afterwards. You get some
The
sympathetic eyes on you.
the next person had dates, and admittedly, that one was a little harder. It was like, you had to put the year to, like, certain things that had happened, and I don't understand what the category like, it was very general. So, like, one of them was, like, when the first Harry Potter movie aired, when the first tweet was put on Twitter, when Tony Blair resigned as prime minister. This guy got 0 and was out. He didn't get any. He just went over 2 and was out.
0
The
is a solid
next
effort.
person The next person, I cannot remember even what their question was, but they got 1 on the board, and then and then one, person gave them an answer, and then they went 0 for 2, and then they were out. The next person got 8 out of 10. She did phenomenal. She was the only smart one in the group. Then the team leader goes up, so he's got 3 people that he can, like, rescue back. The question was, these are 10 zodiac signs in French. Tell us what they are in English. He got all the way to 8 correct, got his friends back, got one wrong, and they said, "Do you wanna give another answer and potentially lose and not bring your people back, or do you wanna sit down?" And he said, "No, I think I can get the next one." Guessed it wrong. Remember, there's only 12 zodiac signs. So he guessed the 2, like, that were not on there, guessed it wrong, and none of them came back. The ones that he had left were Gemini, which in French is, I get how do you
Jumeau.
pronounce that? Gemou,
Jumeau.
which if you were to
Yeah.
look at Gemou and someone said, "What zodiac sign is that?" I don't understand how you don't guess Gemini there. And then the other one he had was a tough one, was Aries, which is, Ram. What is Ram? Bélier or whatever? How you say that?
Yeah, I wouldn't even know off the top of my head what Aries was. I'm not a
That's
big,
that's the
star
one.
sign person to begin with, but
I
yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, but some of these were like, and this is one where like, like Scorpion or Scorpio is Scorpion.
Yeah.
Sagittarius is Sagittaire. Capricorn is Capricorn, like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, a
he
lot of them
still
are pretty much
failed.
identical.
It was unreal. So they got no one back, and then, of course, they lost in the finals. But it was just such a terrible effort from the team. That show cracks me up.
And the reason for going for another one is that you win more money. You're building
You
up
win
your
more
prize
money.
pot.
Yeah, he wanted to build the prize pot with 2 left,
Because 'Cause I'll
and
be
he
honest,
guessed
I've never
wrong.
watched an episode of Tenable.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've
so
seen
he was
clips.
able, so you can obviously, like, as you go up, you win more money, but or you could bring back, if you're the captain, you can bring back someone who got kicked out, but then your money, like, drops a ring or a ladder, I guess I should say. Yeah, a rung on the ladder. But yeah, it was amazing.
High drama.
Bad efforts, really bad efforts. I wish I had the year ones for you because I would get to see how many you would be able to get, but it's hard to take a picture of it, so I didn't get it in time.
Yeah. Now, I will confess I have not watched the latest episode of the
Oh,
Knights
you
of the Seven Kingdom.
kidding me?
Next
Oh
episode, we
my
can discuss it.
god.
I have
It's
watched the
gonna be
Pitt
too
episode.
late.
It won't be too late. I have watched the latest
Oh my
episode of the Pitt, and
god.
I have a hot take on the Pitt.
You don't
Because
like it
again,
anymore.
no, I love it. It's a great show.
Okay.
But here's the problem I have with the Pitt, is I actually love, and we kinda spoke about this last year when I said during the season 1 that I kinda hoped there wasn't a big event, that I
Yeah,
sorta just hoped that nothing really happened, that this is just a day in the life at an ER, and that's
gotcha.
it.
Same.
And I kinda doubled down on that in that now I find my viewing, I'm anticipating, like, "Is this the big event? Is this it? Is this it? Who's that? Who's that?" And actually that bothers me that I feel like I'm slightly being removed from just having
Yeah,
this sort of fly on the wall experience in an ER, and I wish they hadn't done it. I wish they'd had the
yeah,
balls to kinda just go, "No, this is just what it's like being in an ER for a day. We don't need
yeah.
a mass event to make this interesting."
Well, I think you could say the argument would be now they have more cojones that they did season 1 with a big event, but then in season 2, they're fine with not having to have a big event. Do you know what I mean? Where it's
So
like,
far.
yeah, I don't see, so I personally don't think there is. I think the big event, quote unquote, we got was the other hospital shut down, so there's just gonna be, more patients coming in, like more cases. I think here's my guess as to what the big thing that happens this year is now at least 3 times Ravi, Dr. Ravi has asked, "Has anyone seen his friend who's supposed to be coming in?" and they're going to be doing that trip together. And there's already been 2 motorcycle accidents that have happened. I think his friend gets into a serious motorcycle accident, and that's why he's late. And this is like a moment where Ravi sees him and like questions his life because his best friend is like on the table dying from a motorcycle accident. That's
Do
my
you
guess.
do you think that's what's caused the issue where they've had to has this friend just been, like, obliterated on a bridge, and so that's why they have had to
Oh,
divert traffic from the one hospital to the other?
I don't,
It all
maybe
comes
that
together.
would be a little crazy. Yeah, that might be a little crazier. He drove through the hospital, like crashed into the ER. I don't
Tried
know,
to
but but there's something
I
weird
do
that he keeps
that's not a
asking
bad
where his
guess.
friend is.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, he's
that's
like,
not a
"Where's my
bad
friend? Have
guess.
you seen my friend? He's supposed to be here." Like, I think something bad happens to him, and I think that makes Ravi really, like, question his existence or whatever you wanna say, like, because he's still obviously not okay with his life.
No, the other thing too is, and we spoke about this in, like, episode 1, right? Maybe 2? There is some significance to the homeless guy that was the actor who was in Breaking Bad, who is still every once in a while caught sort of in the background. It's still
Yes.
there, and as we discussed, too big of an actor to have just briefly been bathed,
Nude.
and then just that's the end of his unless things have gone really, really badly for him, but you do still see him there, like, the kinda camera pans by, and there he is sitting on a bed, so I think there
Yes.
is something of significance that happens with him.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
I
that's
think
the
definitely
friend.
this
It's
oh,
like,
maybe.
I couldn't recognize you, you're not covered in shit anymore." This is
I mean, I think that definitely this season has a huge, like, social injustice theme towards it. You know, with uh, patient from the penitentiary from jail, and then also the homeless person, and then also Louis, the other homeless person, dying. So I think there's definitely that there is a big theme this year. And I think this last episode was a lot on like the nurses. You know, that was a big point. Was all like the nurses kind of helping out a lot more than they normally do. Oh, I we didn't talk about this. Did you know that the tall guy who's the nurse, the tall curly dark curly hair guy, kind of has a little bit of like a gray facial hair to
Mhm.
him. He was an actual nurse, or so he's an actual nurse, which is pretty cool. So he was an actor, didn't really make it much as an actor, retired, became a nurse, and then when they started this show, someone knew him previously as an actor and reached out to him and was like, "Hey, we know you're a nurse now. Would you like to be on the show and like be a nurse? And that would really help us out to give us some like credibility." So he's actually like a real nurse. And they say like on set a lot of times he'll tell people like, "No, that's not quite how I would have done it. Like, let's do it this way." And like they'll change it. I think that's pretty cool.
And do they turn around and go, "You know what? Cool it, Steve. Failed actor turned failed nurse. We don't need more from you." You know what? They're not handing out Emmys to the failed actor guy.
They don't have a category for actor who plays real life job.
Yeah, for actor who couldn't cut it but lucked into playing minor part because he does that in real life.
But that was a cool part of the story.
But yeah, it's a super good show. As I said, I just have that feeling in the back of my mind where it's like, I just wish that I
Yeah,
didn't have to be thinking about, "Oh, is this where's the big drama coming from?"
yeah,
Like, that's
yeah,
that's
I
the
agree.
only bit that bothers me.
Yeah, and then so 2 episodes ago, we talked about how, they kinda made me a little nervous saying that there's a pickleball player out there that tore his Achilles. I don't know if you saw this episode. They then had the guy come in who said he feels like he's got a blood clot and he wants him to do a
Oh, yeah, yeah.
D-dimer test
That
on him. And then the guy said, he can't have a blood clot. He's on blood thinners already. And then they said, we'll just give him the D-dimer anyway. I really hope this guy doesn't come back with a blood clot. Because if he does, they're really fucking targeting me and fucking with my head.
I was watching that and I commented, "That's Frank in 30 years." That was
I mean,
yeah.
honestly, that was literally me 9 months ago in the ER when I said, "I think I have a blood clot. Can you do a D-dimer?" I literally said that exact words. The difference was I wasn't already on blood thinners, but, you know, I had been previously, which is kinda funny. But I was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna have a blood clot on blood thinners? This is my worst fucking nightmare."
But no, it's a great show. I am enjoying it.
Yeah, me too. I can't believe, though, you haven't watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The penultimate, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm traveling tomorrow, so may watch it while I travel, but we'll see.
Oh. Oh, this guy, Mister I don't ever watch things on a fucking phone screen, is gonna watch one of the best shows of the year on a fucking phone.
No, on a laptop, you asshole.
Oh, just a laptop? 13-inch screen? Come on.
Yeah, that's fine. That's respectable. I don't mind watching something on that's bigger than if I were watching it on something on an airplane, but
Well,
it's
in the class you sit in.
well, but but it's not yeah, it uh, I probably won't, because the issue I will have is that I would there you always got the glare issue on your
Yeah.
laptop. There's definitely dark scenes within this show at all times, so then you're gonna be like, "I can't actually see. Someone just got stabbed. I don't know who it was." There's
Well,
always that possibility.
good luck, 'cause that's a lot of that episode.
Yeah, I can imagine, because 'cause they're about to have a 7v7 battle in dark mud, so I could
Fog
see
as well.
yeah, I could see the visibility.
And
Re the
no one has their name on the back of their armor.
No. Some of them wearing very similar armor too.
Yes. Alright, so we'll have to talk about that next episode then. Alright, anything else?
I don't think so. That's it.
Alright, I guess with that, we'll call it a day.
Sounds good.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
Cheerio.